Hey everyone. So a new patch came in the other day, and I wanted to get a game in to see if blades were good again, because last patch, blades were so bad, like, you could not use them, like, at all. But yeah, they buffed the damage on the blades, so I wanted to test them out. But what actually happened this game was something weird, like something they didn't really tell us in the patch notes, and that increasing the queue time speed so that you can get into a game a lot faster. And while I think this is a very good change, there's also some cons that come with it. It's very good because no one wants to play a game with such a punishing death timer, you know? Like, you die, you have to wait like 3 minutes for a game to start again. But like, if we have games like this, where there's only 8 people and such a huge map, you're not gonna be really running into anybody for the most part of the game, which is extremely boring. And I was like playing this game and I was like, oh, okay. I don't really think of it as boring, I think of it as relaxing when a game like this happens. So for the most part, I just like sold stuff, and I kept the steel snares because I was like, okay, if it's gonna be a passive game, then that means I'm gonna need to, you know, just trap up mid and wait for them to come. Especially if I don't find a man tracker, there's no way I'm gonna find anybody. Luckily a loot pinata did happen, so I run into this guy and he's not very good. And there's actually quite a bit of talk as to like what you should do when you run into these kinds of people, and you should just like give them a little bit of a chance. But I don't know, I just like don't feel like doing it because I don't feel like I should be responsible to babysit like other players' skill levels, you know? Like, that's just gonna put me at a disadvantage if another player comes along and like vultures me or something, you know? And yeah, that's my thought on that. So yeah, I don't know if it was actually because I played this game at like 6 AM in the morning and that's why I got like such a low player match. But I think it's but the thing is, it's like I generally play this game at very odd times anyways, so like we're talking like 4 AM, like 5 AM, just because I don't like to play games like, well, during the day. I just like wake up early or like play late at night to play my video games. I find I get like disturbed less, so that's why I do that. Yeah, when I play snares, I always like to play some like this, because if you play some like that, then you gain the maximum amount of coverage to like trigger the snare, but then it doesn't actually make your snare like super obvious to see either. And I was like, well, I'm already snaring the heck out of mid, so I might as well like throw in some punjies there too, because like, why not? Like, especially since they're a lot easier to make and you get more coverage out of them too. So punjies are a lot better than snares. But the disadvantage with punjies is that, oh yeah, did you hear that? I heard that and I was freaking out. I was like, okay, somebody's close by to me. But then like, nobody was here and I was really confused. So yeah, I just went back to punji placing. Yeah, the disadvantage with punji sticks is that they're a lot easier to see than snares. So yeah, it all depends on what you want to do. But also you can say that punji sticks, like, they don't get taken away from you, like can be used against you. Because like, if you place wooden snares and somebody finds them, and they can pick one up, or like maybe they have their own and just place it right there, and then like that's gonna be their snare, and then you might walk over it. Yeah, and then someone shot a bow and I freaked out here too, but then yeah, I couldn't see him, so I just like got rid of these punji sticks real quick. Someone can place their snare on your snare, or take away your snare and place it back, then you're gonna think it's your snare, and then you're gonna walk over it willingly, and then you're just gonna die. or like you're gonna take a lot of damage from that. So there's like that. That's like one thing I'm always paranoid about when I play snares. But this game was pretty relaxing. I was like controlling or like camping mid the entire time, so I knew like nobody like was messing with my snares, or else, you know, I'd see them. Oh yeah, that little freak out there reminded me that I needed to have a bow, because I know I have an SMG, but if I have a bow, it's like gives you a lot more range. And also, I also wanted like a little bit of practice with my bow, because honestly, I'm pretty bad with the bow anyway. I was like, I might as well get some practice in. So if I ran into these next guys who are slowly being forced in, they're gonna get a whole lot of arrows to the face. I figured I couldn't find the guy who shot the bow, which is really weird, because why would you shoot a bow and not like come and find me or something? I don't know. I guess he was shooting somebody else. I don't know. So I like decided to just like make one more set of snares, because why not? Oh yeah, this one's weird because I like tried to place it here, but then it wouldn't connect, even though that's like normal flat ground. But if you place it here and then place it there, then it'll connect. And I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So I was like just playing around with the designs of I can make, like, cause how often are you gonna play around with 8 snare posts, right? Something I learned from this was that one snare post will never protrude more than 3 strings. So that's something you should think about if you want to make a very efficient design with more than 4 snare posts. And we're coming to the conclusion of the game. They're being forced into mid with the gas, and they're gonna run around everywhere. They're gonna run into my snares, and I'm just gonna kill them pretty easily. This guy was pretty interesting because, as you can see here, his angry octopus pops, and then I'm like, oh shit, where the hell did he go? Now looking back on the footage, I know exactly when he disappeared, but I thought it was this guy. I was like, wow, I didn't even hear the water. But I didn't really mind, I was just gonna bow him anyway. This guy wasn't very good with the bow, so I could beat him. And if you look at his name, that like confirms that it's not the same guy. I wanted to get that guy's bow that dropped because it was better than mine. But then I see this guy run into my snares, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll get this guy instead. Then I'll go fight this guy. And the thing about this guy is that he probably couldn't find his bow, because when I knocked it off his hands, it like fell down. And that's like hard to notice if you just got backstabbed, right? So I was just gonna bow this guy. He tries to throw a dynamite on me, but like I hear it and I dodge it. Now when it comes to this part, I would have loved to hear his reaction when he turned the corner and just saw this minefield of punchy sticks. That would have been great to listen to. But there isn't much you can do at this point. Like, I've got the entire area just set up. He's got no bow, he's used up his dynamite, there's not much he can do but lose. But anyway, that was my game after the patch. That was my experience. So let me know what you guys think. Bye.